What if the biggest reason you're not making consistent profits has nothing to do with the market? Think about that for a moment. Every day, millions of traders stare at the same charts, watch the same price movements, and search for the same perfect setup. Yet some quietly grow their accounts while others repeat the same painful mistakes over and over again. The difference isn't hidden inside the market. It's hidden inside the mind making the decisions. Most people believe they lose because they need a better strategy. But what if the strategy was never the real problem? What if every impulsive trade, every moment of hesitation, every panic exit, and every revenge trade began long before you ever clicked the buy or sell button? Imagine looking at the market with complete clarity instead of emotional chaos. Imagine making decisions without fear whispering in your ear or greed pulling your attention away from your plan. That kind of confidence isn't something you're born with. It's something you build, one thought at a time. In this video, you're going to uncover the invisible mental patterns that quietly control your trading results, discover why emotions often disguise themselves as logic, and learn how disciplined thinking can become your greatest edge even when the market feels unpredictable. Each chapter will take you one step deeper than the last. First, you'll uncover the hidden mindset that separates consistent traders from everyone else. Then you'll see how fear and greed silently manipulate decisions you believe are rational. After that, you'll learn how real discipline is created, not through willpower, but through a complete shift in identity. And finally, everything comes together in one powerful breakthrough that changes the way you see every trade, every loss, every win, and every opportunity from this day forward. Because once your mind changes, your decisions begin to change. When your decisions change, your habits begin to change. And when your habits change, your results eventually have no choice but to follow. If you're ready to train your mind instead of chasing the market, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel because we're building a collection of psychology-based trading lessons designed to help you think with more clarity, act with more discipline, and grow with more confidence over the long term. And make sure you stay until the very last chapter, because the final lesson is the quiet difference between traders who spend years searching for consistency and those who finally achieve it. Once you understand that principle, you'll never look at another trade the same way again. Chapter 1. The hidden mindset that separates profitable traders from everyone else. Imagine two traders looking at the exact same chart. They have the same indicators, the same market data, and even the same trading strategy. The price begins to move, and within minutes one trader follows the plan with calm confidence while the other starts second-guessing every decision. One finishes the day with steady execution. The other walks away frustrated, wondering what went wrong. The market didn't create that difference. Their minds did. Most people believe profitable traders possess secret knowledge that ordinary traders never discover. They spend months searching for better indicators, faster signals, or more accurate predictions. But the surprising truth is that consistency rarely begins with finding something new. It begins with thinking differently. The market is uncertain by nature. No one controls the next candle. No one can predict every move. Yet many traders enter each trade expecting certainty. The moment the market behaves differently than they imagined, fear takes over. Confidence disappears. Discipline breaks. Here's something interesting. It's not uncertainty that creates emotional pain. It's the expectation that uncertainty shouldn't exist. Think about that. A pilot doesn't become nervous simply because the weather changes. A surgeon doesn't panic because every patient is different. Professionals expect uncertainty. They prepare for it instead of fighting it. Trading works the same way. The traders who survive for years don't try to eliminate uncertainty. They learn to become comfortable inside it. That single shift changes everything. Instead of asking, "Will this trade win?" they ask, "Did I follow my process?" Instead of measuring success by today's profit, they measure success by today's decisions. This sounds simple, but it completely changes how pressure feels. When your identity depends on every winning trade, every loss feels personal. It feels like proof that you're not good enough. But when your identity is built around disciplined execution, losses become information instead of emotional wounds. Picture an archer aiming at a distant target. The archer cannot control the wind. The archer cannot control every tiny movement after the arrow leaves the bow. What the archer can control is preparation, focus, posture, and execution. Trading is no different. Your responsibility ends the moment you've made the best decision based on your plan. Everything after that belongs to probability. The traders who become consistently profitable understand a truth that most people spend years avoiding. They don't try to control outcomes, they control themselves. And once they master themselves, the market slowly becomes less intimidating. But mastering your own mind isn't easy, because there are two invisible forces working against you every single day. They don't appear on any chart, yet they influence almost every trading decision you make: fear and greed. Understanding how these two emotions quietly shape your behavior is where the real transformation begins. Chapter 2. Why Fear and Greed Quietly Destroy even the best trading strategies. Imagine spending weeks building a solid trading plan. You know exactly where you'll enter, where you'll exit, and how much risk you'll take. Then the moment real money is on the line, something changes. Your heart beats a little faster. Your thoughts become louder. Suddenly, the plan that looked so clear yesterday begins to feel uncertain today. This is where most traders lose control. Not because they lack knowledge, because emotions quietly rewrite their decisions. Fear rarely announces itself. It doesn't always look like panic. Sometimes it disguises itself as caution. You hesitate to enter a perfectly valid setup because you're still thinking about your last losing trade. You exit too early because a small profit feels safer than following your target. You avoid taking the next opportunity because you're trying to protect yourself from feeling disappointment again. Then comes greed. Greed is even more deceptive. It whispers that one more trade will make up for today's losses. It convinces you to increase your position size after a winning streak because you suddenly feel unstoppable. It tells you to ignore your exit plan because this time the market will keep moving in your favor. Fear tells you to quit too soon. Greed tells you to stay too long. Together, they pull you away from logic until your strategy no longer matters. Picture someone driving through a thick fog. The road hasn't changed. The destination hasn't changed. Only visibility has changed. Fear and greed create the same kind of mental fog. They don't change the market. They change how you see it. That's why emotional trading often feels logical in the moment. Your brain isn't trying to sabotage you. It's trying to protect you from pain or chase the excitement of reward. The problem is that what feels emotionally safe is often financially destructive. Profitable traders recognize these emotions without allowing them to take the driver's seat. They notice fear. They notice greed. But they don't obey them. Instead of reacting, they pause. They return to their rules. They ask one simple question: is this decision coming from my plan or from my emotions? That question has the power to interrupt years of destructive habits. The goal isn't to become emotionless, that's impossible. The goal is to stop letting emotions make your decisions. Because the market doesn't reward the loudest feelings, it rewards the clearest thinking. And once you learn to separate your emotions from your actions, something remarkable begins to happen. Discipline no longer feels like forcing yourself to behave. It starts becoming part of who you are. That is the identity shift that changes everything, and it's exactly where we're going next. Chapter 3. Building Unshakable Discipline. When every trade tests your emotions. Most people think discipline is about forcing yourself to do the right thing. But real discipline doesn't begin with force. It begins with identity. Think about someone who exercises every morning. They don't wake up asking whether they feel motivated today. They simply act because that's who they believe they are. Their habits follow their identity. Trading works the same way. If you see yourself as someone who is always chasing quick profits, your decisions will naturally become impulsive. You'll break your rules, overtrade, and search for excitement instead of consistency. But if you begin to see yourself as a disciplined trader, your actions slowly start matching that belief. Every decision becomes a vote for the person you're becoming. Imagine a craftsman building a beautiful wooden table. He doesn't rush because he's excited. He doesn't skip measurements because he's confident. He follows the same careful process every single time, not because it's exciting, because excellence is built through repetition. Profitable traders think the same way. They understand that success isn't created by one perfect trade. It's created by thousands of ordinary decisions made with extraordinary consistency. This is why routines matter so much. A routine protects you from your emotions. Before the market opens, you review your plan. You define your risk. You identify your setups. You decide in advance what will make you enter and what will keep you out. Now something important happens. When the market begins moving quickly, you're no longer making emotional decisions in real time. You're simply following decisions you already made while your mind was calm. That's the hidden power of preparation. It removes unnecessary thinking during moments of pressure. Professional athletes don't invent a new technique during the championship game. Pilots don't learn new procedures while flying through a storm. Preparation creates confidence. Confidence creates consistency. And consistency creates results. There will still be losing trades. There will still be difficult days. But disciplined traders don't allow one mistake to become 10 mistakes. They stop. They review. They learn. Then they return with a clear mind. That's the difference. Amateurs try to recover losses immediately. Professionals protect their ability to make the next good decision. Over time, this way of thinking creates something far more valuable than confidence. It creates trust. Not trust in the market, trust in yourself. You know you'll follow your process whether you win or lose. You know you won't abandon your rules because of one emotional moment. That quiet confidence cannot be bought. It must be earned. And once you earn it, every trade feels different. Because the goal is no longer to prove you're right. The goal is to execute your plan with consistency. But even disciplined execution is only part of the journey. The traders who achieve lasting success share one final habit that quietly shapes every decision they make. It doesn't attract attention, yet it becomes the foundation for long-term profitability. That's the breakthrough waiting in the final chapter. Chapter 4. The daily habits that turn consistent decisions into lasting profits. Imagine waking up tomorrow with the same trading strategy you have today, the same market and the same opportunities, but a completely different way of thinking. At first, nothing would seem different. The charts would look familiar. The price would move the same way it always has. Yet your decisions would begin to change, and over time, those decisions would create a future that once felt impossible. This is the quiet power of daily habits. Most traders wait for a breakthrough moment. They believe one winning trade will finally change everything. But lasting success rarely arrives in dramatic fashion. It is built in the ordinary moments that almost no one notices. It begins with reviewing your previous trades without judging yourself. It continues by asking better questions. Did I follow my rules? Did I manage my risk? Did I stay patient when nothing matched my plan? These questions shift your attention away from results and toward behavior. And behavior is the only thing you truly control. Think about a sculptor standing in front of a block of stone. With one strike, nothing remarkable happens. With another, it still looks the same, but after hundreds of careful, intentional strikes, a masterpiece slowly appears. Your trading mindset is shaped in exactly the same way. Every time you choose patience over impulse, you strengthen your discipline. Every time you accept a planned loss instead of chasing it back, you strengthen your confidence. Every time you walk away from a trade that doesn't meet your criteria, you strengthen your identity. The market isn't just testing your strategy, it's revealing your habits. And habits always tell the truth. The traders who succeed for years understand that consistency isn't something they occasionally achieve. It's something they practice every single day, especially when nobody is watching. They don't chase perfection, they chase improvement. 1% better today, 1% better tomorrow. Those small improvements may seem invisible at first, but over months and years they create a gap that becomes impossible to ignore. Eventually, profitable trading stops feeling like a series of lucky wins. It becomes the natural result of disciplined thinking, repeated over time. And that's the breakthrough that ties everything together. The hidden mindset, emotional control, disciplined identity, and daily habits are not separate lessons. They are four pieces of the same foundation. Remove one and the structure becomes unstable. Strengthen all four, and you no longer depend on hope, luck, or perfect market conditions. You depend on yourself. Because in the end, the greatest edge in trading isn't a secret indicator or a flawless prediction. It's becoming the kind of person who can make the right decision, even when the outcome is uncertain. The market will always test your strategy, but first, it will always test your mind. And the trader who learns to master that mind has already taken the first step toward lasting success.